Good late afternoon or early evening, everybody. It is Tuesday, the 26th of October. Sorry I have not been able to do videos in the last couple of days. I have been very busy, very exhausted and very tired at the same time. Work's been a little bit difficult because we've had people call out, and I've ended up doing my venue by myself, which for the most part, as long as it's not a mad rush, I can handle it. I mean, if it's a trickle or, a couple at a time, I don't have any problems. It's when, there's like a mass of people. And that's when I kind of go, I hope that anxiety medication is working. Tomorrow's going to be a little difficult because I have to be out of work by 2:15 at the latest. Because Jerry got a phone call earlier today and they want her to come up to the hospital where they're going to deal with the pin in her leg and some other. I think they're going to start the actual radiation in hospital radiation, not just a little pill. But that affected her Thursday. If I go in Thursday, because that's still up in the air, I have to be out of there by noon because she has at least one medical appointment that I know of that I'm going to have to take her to. I would prefer to be able to go in, work until, 11:30, 12 o'clock, and be able to come home and deal with all that fun stuff. So it's kind of like one of those, yeah. That's the only downside of this situation is either having to take off early or take a whole day off, which I can kind of understand, but at the same time, it's kind of like, oh, that's a mustache hair. Yeah, it's just part of the deal. Got about a week before Julie's back in town, which is yay, because, well, it's not yay because of the fact I won't feel as exhausted or worried about medical appointments or anything like that. But it's the fact of, like right now, I'm having to cook. So I have to make this short so I can start cooking chicken Alfredo. I'm gonna make, what am I gonna make? I'm gonna make chicken Alfredo with a side of broccoli and side salad, because J.M. pointed out that we have not been eating enough vegetables like we were when Julie was here, and I'm like, sorry, I'm not that great with cooking vegetables. So that's that for Jerry. I actually got I got kind of a surprised request at work. The head chef or executive chef, I don't know what his full-blown title is, but we just call him chef. He asked me today if I would be willing and able to work some overtime the 5th and the 6th. And I went, sure, what's up? Well, he wants me to stay a little bit longer after work to prep or help him, not help him exactly, but basically get the lowdown for the 6th, because they're having a catering event between 10 p.m. and 9 p.m. or 10 a.m. and 9 p.m. Sorry, I did that wrong. And I went, oh, you're asking if I'm willing to do some overtime on Saturday to help with a catering event. Of course I would be. Of course. I mean, it's going to help out my pocket, and it's going to help me take care of a lot more bills with that extra, that overtime money. So I talked to Jerry about it when I got home, and she was like, "Yeah, go for it. You know, hey, if he's asking you to come and help out with, granted there's other people besides myself, but it's either they do a rotation where they have a group of people that help out with catering for a big event, and then those people are basically, we're all put on a type of rotation of, okay, we use these people for this catering event. Let's try to rotate some of the other people who have proven themselves capable of handling the job. Okay, that's fine and dandy. The last group of people who catered or helped with catering had to wear black shirts. So I'm kind of like, do I check my clothes to see if I have any black shirts other than my Renaissance shirts? Because I don't think those would be, I don't think those would go over good at a catering event. Unless it's a Nordic type catering event, which I highly doubt here at S&T, home of the miner, or miners, like in, anyhow, you know what I mean. So I was kind of like surprised, and at the same time, like, oh, am I really going to be able to do this? Do I really qualify for this? So we'll figure out what he's going to do with me. I mean, I'd be happy to be in a back room, slicing, dicing, and prepping stuff. But from what I understand, they do all the slicing, and dicing, and prepping the day before the event, and then the day of the event, I guess a crew of people come in to, cook and finalize the prep, and then then after that, it's basically, this group does this kind of serving, this group does this kind of serving, and then the third group does this kind of serving. So it's kind of like, okay, I don't know if it's a la carte or if it's like put it on a plate and take it out to the table type thing. I don't know. That's one of the many things I'll find out. But I was very like, yay! I'm so happy for me. So happy that I'm proving myself, not only to myself, but proving myself to those in charge, basically. So that's good. I mean, I'm really pleased that I'm able to, prove myself in the eyes of my betters. Even though there are people out there who want to claim to be my better, but actions speak louder than words. So, but anyhow, as for I got a comment from somebody who was able to find out, I guess through Diane, how to send me a personal message or private message, however you want to call them, and they wanted to ask me what was the whole ordeal about the fundraiser. I have, and I think it's still going on for at least another week or two, a fundraiser for a maximum of, well, I have it set at $200 because I don't know how much I'd be able to raise. But basically, it's a fundraiser for the American Cancer Society. Instead of asking, or what somebody calls soft begging for gifts, I would rather people not give me anything. I'd rather people... I'm thankful for those who did send me stuff for my birthday, but I would rather... I'd rather people put their money towards this particular fundraising event that I set up for my birthday, because it's not just for me. That money that goes into the fundraiser does not go directly to me or Jerry. It goes to the American Cancer Society for whomever they need it, or whomever needs it, or whatever they need it for, whether it's research, facilities, equipment, things of that nature. Um, Now, you can still go donate wherever you feel like donating. Just find me on Facebook, or ask Jerry, how to send. I don't know how to do these things, but send whomever a link via Messenger or whatnot, because I'm not good with that stuff. I just went in, and when I was gonna do something for my birthday on Facebook, they asked, you know, here's suggestions for your birthday fundraisers for this, and I went, you know what? I'd love to do a fundraiser for National Wildlife, not National Wildlife Foundation, or even the World Wildlife Foundation. But because of what's going on here at home, it hits closer to home. So when I saw that they had a fundraiser for the American Cancer Society, I went, that's the one. That's the one I want to do this year. Actually, the first one I've ever done, because usually I don't go on Facebook to, post my birthday, whatever. And I know my birthday is done and over with. In fact, yesterday was my cousin Debbie's um, birthday, and I don't remember what the age was on that, because I've gotten to the point in my life where it's like, it's just a number. It doesn't matter what the number is or how many years you've actually left. It's, how well your brain is doing. And I know there are days when my brain was like, no, can't reach that level. There are other days where it's just kind of like, hey, we're, succeeding our own expectations, which I usually put very high expectations on myself, but that's maybe one of the reasons why I get down on myself a lot, because I set the bar too high for myself. It's bad enough the world can set the bar. Yeah, it's bad enough the world can set the bar higher than you feel that you can go, but yeah. And I will say this much about what's been going on the last week, or not even a week, since Friday, basically. I don't blame anybody. I don't get mad at Jerry for it and whatnot, but I don't know what happened. As soon as Julie left, by Saturday morning, basically, within 24 to 48 hours of Julie being gone, I just felt like we were back at the start, where it's like I'm running around like a crazy person without a clue of what I'm supposed to be doing, hoping to do projects and whatnot, but end up not doing projects because either A, I was feeling like who done it and ran, or B, I felt like I was getting ran ragged. And I told Jerry yesterday evening, I said, Jerry, I can't do this. I can't go to work, bust my ass, come home, and be expected to do a whole lot of projects or running around, because I am dead. I am literally DOA. I mean, I have enough energy to come home. Yesterday, I didn't feel like I had any energy, so we ended up doing Papa John's. And I was like, I was mad at myself more than anything else, because it's like, okay, yeah, we just had a good pay period. Let's not just blow our money on fast food. Can't afford it. It's not healthy for us. I've got to make sure she maintains her health. But the problem I'm having is trying to maintain my health and my well-being, just for, to be able to maintain hers. And I know a lot of people you can't take care of her unless you're doing good. And I'm like, well, if I don't take care of her, who is? I mean, there was one day before, like a week or two ago, that Jerry went to lay down, and I forgot exactly what happened, but I went in there to check on her, because it was quite some time since we heard anything, and Jerry just was laying there in what seemed to be like she was paralyzed, like she could not move her arm to roll over. We had to help her get mobile because something, whatever it was, happened, caused her to seem or feel or look like she was paralyzed. And I was like, one, I was kind of like, do we need to rush her to a hospital? Does she need to be rushed to see a doctor? You know, but within a few minutes of her getting off the bed and upright in her chair, she seemed to be doing a whole lot better. But at the same time, I was kind of like, I don't know if I just, it's one of those things where it's like, please, please, please don't let this get worse. Unfortunately, from all my information and whatnot, it is going to get worse. I just hope by the time it starts getting worse, it's summer break, so I don't have to worry about work. I'll be, either working a part-time job or doing the one thing I really don't want to do, but might have to just for Jerry's well-being to be at home, is collect unemployment. What they call temporarily, it's a temporary unemployment program through the college. So, okay, it's fine. But I'm like, right now, because it's that time of year with allergies and whatnot, I don't know what's going on. I don't know if my throat, sinuses, joints, whatever, is because of allergies or because of the fact that it went from up here in the 80s and 90s, and within 24 hours or so, it dropped way down here where if it's in the mid 60s, we're lucky. In fact, the whole weekend, the highs were like low 50s, high 40s, and the lows were like low 30s. And I was like, oh my God, it was nice and spring-like, and boom, overnight, it's winter chills, and got the heater's on at 66 during the daytime and 68 at night, just to keep the house from being too cold. Of course, Jerry Ann, with her medical issues plus menopause, she was like, it's too hot. No, it's too cold. Okay, woman, make up your mind. But I'm trying to keep up with medical, try to keep up with my medical and all that fun stuff. And Terry told me that she found on the internet various resources for to help those who are dealing with cancer or the hardships of counseling for the hardships of being a caretaker or stuff like that. And I was like, well, if they've got a 24-hour hotline, I might take a look at it and see what happens, what they provide. I'm not looking for anybody to provide any kind of medications or anything like that, but I'm just kind of like, anything to help me deal with the struggles that I'm dealing with because of this whole situation. Excuse me. So, yeah, it's been a rough patch the last couple of days. I look at my calendar and go, oh yay, one more week and Julie will be back to deal with this, the physical aspect of what she can deal with. That way I can deal with the emotional aspect, because I can't deal with both at the same time. It causes me to freeze up, because it's like, I don't have answers. This is a new territory. I've never dealt with anybody who had cancer before. And then, of course, because I turned into that person who was literally eating his emotions and she's worried about that. And I'm like, can't do what I want to do to cope because I have to work and trying to stay away from alcohol. And even if I was able to deal with the situation, deal with it my way to help me not be a munchaholic, I'll say it again a little bit slower, a munchaholic, and eat my emotions. There's always going to be somebody or something to distract me from the thing that's going to keep me from dealing with my emotions. And it's not that I want to run away from my emotions and whatnot, but there are just times that it's kind of like, can't deal with it. I can't deal with what's going on, plus work, plus, everything else I got to do. But yes, I understand it's life and whatnot, and life can be a real, excuse my language, bitch. But I just don't know. I have not watched any of Jerry's videos as of late because I just don't have the time. But somebody did give me kind of a heads up that Jerry's flip-flopping between what I should do or what to do after she passes. I've got my own ideas about that, and I don't want to think about them because it's like, I don't know if I can do it. And then there are other days where like, oh yeah, we can win this, we can beat this, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, yeah, okay. And it's not like I'm being melodramatic or anything like that. There's one day we had this nice long discussion about, yeah, if I die before you or when I go after because of this cancer, you can finally go do your own thing and blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, no, I'm not thinking about that. I'm not going to worry about that until I know there's no other recourse. Like, I know for a fact that you're on your last leg. And like today, she was like, "Yeah, we're gonna fight this because you're gonna take me to see Yellowstone. We're gonna go see the Grand Canyon during the daytime because I guess one time they passed by or around the Grand Canyon at nighttime, traveling someplace. And, you're gonna take me to go see the redwoods of California. And we're gonna take an Alaskan cruise and all that stuff." And I'm like, well, that would be a wonderful thing to do before you die, but how are we going to afford it? Where are we going to get the money from? So I'm dealing with that kind of situation on a daily basis. But I'm, like I keep on telling her, one day at a time. Let's not over count our baskets or our eggs, and let's not just throw them around. Yeah, I would love to be able to afford, even if it's just during the summertime when I'm not working, I would love to afford to take her to the Grand Canyon, to take her to see Yellowstone, to take her to the redwoods of California, to take her on a cruise to Alaska. I would love to be able to do all that. I love to be able to afford that, but I gotta look on the reality side of it. One, unless we win the lottery, which I don't play, I don't know how we're going to afford any of those trips. I mean, the Grand Canyon? Okay, let's see here. Her sister-in-law, Julie, lives in Vegas. That's only a couple hours away from the Grand Canyon, so we can easily do a day trip or even a weekend trip if we can afford one day or one night at a hotel. Drive down there, see the Grand Canyon, maybe go to Flagstaff, maybe even drive down to Phoenix and see my family. Spend the night somewhere, and then drive back up to Vegas. And then, or instead of driving back up to Vegas, drive home via the southern route, which would be from Phoenix to Tucson through through New Mexico, El Paso, Texas, Houston, Dallas, and then home. You know, because if we spend like 2 or 3 days in Houston, it's only about a 12-hour drive from Houston to here. But we'll see. Anyhow, I have to get off this. I can't spend I've already spent too much time on here. I will see you guys on the flip side. Hopefully, I will be able to do a video, I don't know about tomorrow, but Thursday, because if I decide to take Thursday off, I'll have all day Thursday until it's time to take Jerry to her medical appointment. So we'll see. And I apologize. If I was gassy, belching, or anything like that during the video, I apologize. Sometimes it cannot be helped. I try not to always make it apparent, but I know there was a couple of times where I was like, ooh, they might have heard that. But anyhow. So yeah, if you guys enjoyed this video or have any questions or comments, you guys know what to do down here. If you're new to my channel and want to hear my side of what's going on around this crazy house, you can hit the subscribe button, and then a little bell will pop up, and you can click on that bell, and YouTube will let you know when my next video comes out. So until then, you guys have a good day. Enjoy. Bye.